And greetings everybody, and welcome to another JeSter Reviews. Although it's not so much as a review as another overview, if you like. And today we're going to be looking at modifiers. Now then, we're not going to get too deep into modifiers and what types of modifiers you should have and which ones are the best, because there's a lot of that out there already. But for most of you who've just joined Star Trek Online, and I wanted to know what these modifiers are, well, you've come to the right place tonight, because I'm going to show you. So here we go. Now then, at the top of most of your weapons, or any item that you have, in fact, you'll see a number of what we call modifiers. Crit D times 2, crit H, damage stroke crit H, and damage. And as you can see, we've got 5 here. So there's 2 there, because it's times 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now if you come over here, if you have a common weapon or a common item, as you can see, you don't have any modifiers whatsoever. If you go up to uncommon, you get 1 modifier. There you go. Accuracy. If you go to rare, you get 2 modifiers. As you can see there, we've got accuracy and crit D. If you go up to very rare, you get 3 modifiers, and in this case it's crit D, critical hit, and thrust. If you go up to ultra rare, then you get 4 modifiers. So as you can see here, we've got 1 critical H and 3 damage. Pretty teething. And as you then go to epic, you get 5 modifiers. So here we've got 2 crit Ds, 1 crit H, damage crit H, and another damage. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 modifiers. And 5 is the most you can get on epic. So if we go to the Star Trek wiki, yes, there's my colleague from my fleet. He's just showing me his new angel kit. Yes, well done, 9. Fantastic. Right, so if we go to the Star Trek wiki, there we go. This is the Star Trek wiki. As you can see here, the modifiers are explained to you. So for example, if you have 1 crit D or critical damage modifier, you get a plus 20% critical severity. So if you have 4 crit Ds, that'll be 80%. Critical H, 2% critical chance. If you have 4 crit H's as modifiers, you get 8% critical chance, and so on and so on and so on. So here on the wiki you can see that they'll cover most of the modifiers for the various pieces of kit that you can get. I will leave a link for this when I've done, but there they all are. Now there's quite a lot of mathematical equations which are involved in this game. So not only do you have to take into account your modifiers, but there's various other things you have to take into account as well. So the issue that's raging at this moment in time is, do you go 4 or 5 critical damage for 80 or 100% critical severity, or do you go for 4 or 5 lots of damage modifiers? And therein lies the issue, because there's quite a lot of comments on Reddit about which is the best, and so far it's damage and crit D is the ones that I've seen. So I try to get all my weapons on critical damage. So what I've just explained to you are the basic modifiers that you can get. Now, a while ago, I'm not quite sure how, it seems recent to me, but Cryptic allowed you to do something called re-engineering your modifiers. And how that works is, and I'll just show you. So let's just pick something at random here. So let's just say I have this Chronoton split beam rifle. This is Mark 15 Epic. So as you can see, we've got a critical H, damage, crit D, damage stroke critical H or critical hit. Now, what Cryptic allowed us to do now, or what Cryptic allows us to do now, is to change these modifiers. Now there is a cost for it, but you can re-roll them, and here's how you do it. You unlock it. This is going to cost me 800 dilithium and 400 in salvage, and we will come to that in a moment as well. So hit the randomize button rather, and there we go. We now have 3 crit D modifiers. So if we lock that off, let's see if we go for 4. It's always hard, is this one, and as you can see, I've run out of resources anyway. So how do you get salvage in order to do these rerolls? Well, that's quite simple. When you're doing your story arcs, or you're taking part in games and you're actually picking things up, what you can do is, if you don't need them, if you right click on them, you can salvage them. And I've got a few here which I've picked up on a couple of runs, so I'll salvage them. I don't salvage them because they're okay. Right, so I'll get rid of them. So you salvage, is here. So I've picked up 347 in salvage. It's still not enough actually, but there it is. So here's my Marquee Raider, which I just picked up recently from the latest Cryptic event, where you were given lobby or a token to buy a fleet ship. Well, sorry, a sea store ship. I picked up the Raider from the lobby store. I picked the lobby. So anyhow, as you can see here, I've got 4 weapons to the front with a quantum phase torpedo. So the quantum phase torpedo has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modifiers, and you can see there at the end it says proc. And same here with the Terran Task Force phaser beam. And here you can see there's another one which says pen. Now proc is a term used to describe a special effect or a bonus that is activated on a piece of equipment, generally with a low percentage chance to happen. So an example of a proc would be 2.5% chance bonus applied to starship weapons. So for example, beam arrays. Now pen is a modifier which you normally get from your crafting of weapons. I've never actually seen a pen modifier on something that's not being crafted. I think it is possible, but you'd have to be very lucky. I think it's rare, but they are generally uncrafted weapons. So pen means penetrating, and it lowers the resistance rating of an enemy in order to damage the hull of the ship. As I said earlier, I don't want to get too deep into which is the best type of modifier, because there's quite a lot of information out there on Reddit and on the Star Trek wiki, which I'll leave a link in there at the bottom of this video. Myself, I've gone for critical damage or a proc or a pen with that, but it's entirely up to you how you go about it. But don't forget, there's also the other part of your ship build that you must take into consideration. Your other duty officers, your critical severity, and various bits and pieces that you have to put together in order to get a decent build. So just having modifiers on is just one little piece in that puzzle. So don't forget, check out everything, and if you're having any issues, please leave a comment. We won't get too deep into an argument about which is the best type of modifiers, because I want to avoid that, but by all means, if you want to leave some suggestions, I would welcome them, because obviously the more you tell us, the more we can learn. So hope you've enjoyed this very brief overview, and until next time, this is JeSter signing off.